Hi guys, Sasha here. Welcome back to Creative Frenzy. So today I'm sharing with you yet another box. This one's the Oracle. She is finally finished. It took me a little bit of time. I did the face with hot glue quite some time ago. I was doing as part of the Goddess series. It's a jewelry line that I was creating. It was a concept and it didn't quite follow through all the way, but I figure I'd take it apart and use it in this concept. So this is the Oracle. So she has some feet on the bottom of the box. So when you stand her up, she stands quite nicely. So you can see the glass beads when you set it on a shelf. And this is using the Orion's Belt paper pad from Michaels. It's a very pretty paper pad. It's this one right here. I will show it to you. It has all the constellations, the stars and planets and moon and all kinds of celestial papers. So it's very pretty. I went with the navy and I pretty much ran with it. So this is a brass plate that I cut myself from some, it's not book plate, but it's for shelving, or not shelving, it's for boxes. So hang on, let me see if I can find one. Hold on. So it's basically one of these plates. You put it on an edge of a shelf or a box or something, and then you put on there, you know, the date or the type or whatever it is, and it just hangs over your edge of your box. So like that, okay? So that's the idea anyway. But what I do is I flatten them out, I texturize them, clean them, and then I make them into jewelry, usually. In this case, I didn't. This is a flattened marble. I got it at the dollar store many years ago. I had a bunch of different colors, and I thought the navy would look really well with this. The only paper that is not from the Celestial one is this one with the gold foiling. That's from a dollar store paper pad. You could use anything from the paper pad itself, but I just chose this one. So this is a corner punch with a star, which is really cool. It's from Fiskars. Let's see, I will show it to you. I've had these for a very long time, but they're really pretty. So I have 3 different kinds, but this one has the sun, the moon, and the star, and they are really pretty for this kind of project. And then I just put some glass feet on the bottom, and she is the Oracle. So on the inside, I did a little Oracle deck. Not so much Oracle, it's more like little quotes and the meaning of certain words or certain sensations and feelings. But, you know, it's just fun using up some paper from the paper pad. Just some pretty collaging. I just made this little corset card cover for my cards from some leftover leather piece that I had. I just put some grommets on there, made a little corset for it basically, and then I made these little cards. So so these paper pads, these papers are only single-sided, okay? Oops, I am so sorry. Not much space to work with. So they're single-sided. So what I've done is I've cut them all to the same size that would fit in the bottom of my box, and then I glue them together back to back. So lots of different colors, you know, pinks and blues and purples, and then I had some pretty stickers from AliExpress, and then I just used quotes from different artists, different poets, different things from Pinterest. I have this whole board, it's called Poets and Sages, and anytime something sort of resonates with me, I will save it in there, and then I figure I would use it for something someday, and this is what I use it for. On the other side, I did words that, you know, there's feelings that we don't really have English words for, so there's usually a Danish word or a Japanese word or, you know, a Greek word or a Swedish word for that type of feeling or emotion, or, you know, sunlight that filters through the leaves of trees. We all enjoy it, or at least I do, but we don't really have an English word for that, not that I'm aware of. So the Japanese do. So it interests me in this way. So anyway, yet another art box. And I'm having a lot of fun making these. And I thought I would show you today how I make the box in and of itself, okay? Because I do make other boxes from thinner scrapbook paper, but they're a lot more delicate than these. These are a lot sturdier because it's thicker paper, but it requires your hot glue gun, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. So that is the Oracle. I will show you again. You know, it's like I haven't done anything on the sides because I really do like the paper on this. So I didn't collage it, I didn't decoupage or anything. So it's all on the front. So when it sits on the shelf, it has a really nice aesthetic to it. So I tried to keep the colors, you know, the same as the background, the brass and the golds and things like that. So I thought that turned out really well. I'm very happy with that. And then this is normally the ones that I make. So they're quite flimsy because they're thin paper. So they're quite flexible. You can easily, you know, put the cover on it. It's not going to matter too much. Although the thicker your paper is, the more difficult this is. And this is not doable with thick paper. And it doesn't look very nice, right? I mean, unless you have a lot of stuff in there for gift giving, that's a different story. But I'm going to show you how to make one. Okay. Now let's say we have all these kinds of papers, right? I mean, unless you're going to put them into a frame, which is, you know, obviously you could do that. You could put it into a 12 by 12 frame. It would look really nice. It depends on what you want to do. Today, you know what, let's make a box out of this, because I probably won't be doing any of those other things. So we're going to use this as a lid, and then we're going to use something else for the bottom that'll go with it. So let's use something like this. Alright. I do have a video on how to make this, and it's quite an old video, but it's made with the thinner papers. But, okay, so this is our top. Our bottom is going to be a 1/2 inch smaller on two sides. Okay, it's going to be 11.5 by 11.5. So that's what we are going to do. We are going to trim it. So here, oh, let's see, 11.5, okay, right there. We're going to trim on one side. We're going to turn it this way, and we're going to do 11.5 again. All right, and that's what we're going to do, and this will make sure it fits nicely. Okay, so you've cut off 2 strips. All right, 11.5 by 11.5. So you will see that it's a bit smaller than the lid. Okay, so what we're going to do, yeah, you know what, let's start with this one. So it's basically origami, although it's not technically origami because you are doing some cutting. You could do the origami method if you really wanted to. I like doing it this way because I can adjust it if I need to. But you are just folding and folding and folding for the most part. But you can crank out a bunch of these very quickly. Well, you know, you can make a bunch, let's put it that way. You can use some older scrapbook paper that you're not really all that fond of and you don't know what to do with. This is perfect for that kind of job because you can decoupage them, you can decorate them, you can do any number of things. You can paint them. You can, you know, put other pieces of paper so you're not wasting your good papers if you didn't want to, right? So Here's our center, okay? We are going to cut here and here. Okay, let me see if I can actually show you, because it's a bit difficult to see. So there's a line here and a line here that we're going to cut, okay? Not all the way to the center and not over the line. So a line here and a line here, okay? You just cut along the fold. That's what you're doing. And you're only going so far, no further. That's it, okay? Now, some of you know how to make these. That's great. So I've used these kinds of things for my jewelry sales for many, many years, for gift giving, cookie bake sales. You know, you put everything into saran wrap or plastic baggie, Ziploc bag, and you put it in there. It's great for gift giving, so if you have Christmas paper, it would be wonderful for cookie exchange, that kind of thing. So if you need to slow down, go back, do so you can see it several times and you don't miss out on anything. Now, this is where a hot glue gun is your best friend, okay? Because this is stiffer paper, okay? So it's more difficult to use a glue stick or wet glue because it would take way too long to cool down, okay? Be mindful of your fingers. It is hot. You can use those little silicone protectors for your fingers, which would work really nice. I am too lazy to go find mine. Besides which, I've burned my fingers so many times now. It's just become second nature at this point. Okay. All right. It is hot. Please be careful. And then you just, sometimes the paper will color a little bit because of the heat. That's okay. It'll come back to its original color once it's cooled down, okay? So don't worry about that. Some paper just reacts to heat, which is okay. Some paper is meant to, actually. But you can see now you have the inside nicely covered and the outside is nice and thick, so it holds its shape quite nicely, okay? If you want, you can always cut a piece to put on the inside, you know, to size, and then you can glue that down in there if you really wanted to. If you wanted to put something else in there, but see how pretty that is? Okay, so that's the bottom of the box. So because I know I won't use this for anything else, I'm going to use it as a lid, okay? And this one we kept as 12 by 12. And it does have gold foiling on it, I know. And you might sort of think, oh no, what are you doing? But I know I'm not going to use it for anything else, so I will use it for this instead. So I'm still going to put it to good use. What I like about these, they hold so many different things, you know. You can make them for Christmas, like I said, for cookie exchange. You could do them for Easter with Easter paper. Oh, how cute would that be with some paper shred on the inside. Actually, I'm going to do that in another video. But here we have more. Okay. And again, I will show you with pencil where to cut, because, you know, once you get the hang of it, it's easier. It's not a big deal. But until you know, you don't know, right? So just there. And at first I had to do it this way because I couldn't for the life of me remember where to stop. Now it's fine, but when I first started this, not so much. Okay? And it doesn't matter if you leave a pencil mark because it's all going to be hidden. That's the beauty of it. Okay? There we go. So in, and then you make your sides. And do the same one this way. I like that there's a little bit of purple in there and the black and the gray. It's so pretty. Ugh, I love this paper pad. Again, hot glue. Be careful, don't burn yourself. Okay. Go. And I usually, when I do glass beads for feet on my boxes, I just use hot glue gun. I don't have patience to wait for, you know, other glues to dry, so I just use the hot glue gun. Now if you find that doesn't work for you, like this is my heavy duty glue gun, so I'm pretty sure it's going to hold no problem. But if you have one of those mini ones or your glue sticks are not as strong, then by all means use like an E6000 or something like that. Just, you need to find a spot to hold it so it doesn't fall apart on you. That's all. Okay, and you don't have to overdo it with the glue. I mean, the shape itself will pretty much hold. Okay, shall we do the reveal? All right, I've never done it this way before with a major page, but look at that, that looks pretty, right? So you got the moon on there. It all depends on what you've got for paper, but I really like that. And then the inside, that looks so pretty. That really, I'm very happy with that. And the lid fits on there nicely, so that's perfect. So you could do anything you want with that. This would be great in a nursery for a little photo album, you know, baby's first year kind of thing. Make a great little gift like that. I've made these with journals, photo albums, some art pages. I don't know, there's a bunch of different ones I'm still going to do. So, but yeah, this is yet another box ready. So, you know, it's much stiffer. It's much better quality than, you know, the thin ones that really, you know, use the cheapy paper. You sort of get what you get, right? So just remember, if you're going to make it out of stiffer cardboard, or not cardboard, cardstock, or stiffer scrapbook paper, make sure your bottom piece is a 1/2 inch smaller than your top piece. So 12 by 12, 11.5 by 11.5, okay? And it fits beautifully. So yeah, that is it. The Oracle, like I showed you, and I think it turned out rather well. And this is using one of those sheets that you probably wouldn't use in a scrapbook page anyway, so I thought it was kind of fun to show something a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!